Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's your host of the most, your boy Hadjilexx. No need to brag nor boast. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me, sharing the love for sports, football, track and field. You know it and name it, we do it. Welcome to One Sports Talk, where we talk sports, where we appreciate and talk about current, past, present, and what is to happen. Sports. Okay? So stay tuned. Remember, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell that when we upload a new video, you will be first to get the notification. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for caring. And let's get it. Today we're about to talk about the Reggae Boyz and Reggae Boyz failures and disappointments and appointments and coach and appointed coach, intern, head coach and assistant coach. Yeah, we're here to talk about and to break down because we're in a World Cup year and this was the year that we all thought that we would be able to watch the Reggae Boyz at the World Cup. Seen as being that the Reggae Boyz are playing right here in our own backyards. Mexico, Canada, United States of America. It gets no easier than that, ladies and gentlemen, where we didn't have to prove ourselves against the United States and the Canada and the Americas. You understand? So I don't think it's me alone, but a lot of us thought this was the easiest chance and opportunity for the Reggae Boyz to make it to the 2026 World Cup, the biggest show on earth. Understand? And for me, 1998, you understand? Long time ago, you know. Yeah. Some of us are getting very old. And yet still we think this time around where a lot of Jamaicans were planning on buying and purchasing their tickets and booking their spot and their seats to watch the Reggae Boyz. A lot of us were planning that even if I go Canada or maybe take a trip down to Mexico, wherever the Reggae Boyz was playing, we were planning on going to watch the game, but we took a lot of things are granted, and no, we didn't make it to the World Cup. So let me put them on screen, ladies and gentlemen. The great Reggae Boyz. You understand? The great Reggae Boyz. There we have it. The likes of, yeah, that is the Reggae Boyz, ladies and gentlemen. We Google them and show them the team that we thought would made it to the World Cup. Easily. It was too easy, as some may think, but the great Steve McLaren, if that's his name, I really don't care if I pronounce his name correctly. The appointed head coach for the Reggae Boyz. Take them off the screen. Yeah, the appointed coach of the Reggae Boyz didn't come through. Likewise, the players didn't help the coach. And a lot of times we tend to blame coaches. You understand? But I have yet to see the coach out there on the field of play, playing the game, the great game that we all love and hate and can't get enough of, football, aka American college soccer. So, yeah, the share of the blame should go around, not just to one person, but it can split up and share because players has to take some of the blame. And this is just me, you understand? You have good international based players, overseas based players who are Jamaicans by associations. You understand? And for me, and I think a lot of people share the same mental. Okay? I don't have anything wrong against the international or the overseas based players because it's not only Jamaica, you understand, gets overseas based players or kids or players who were born in different country who elected to go and represent their parents' country of birth. And we have seen brothers who represent separate country like the Kevin Boateng and the Jerome Boateng, who one represent Germany and one went to South Africa. Was it South Africa or Ghana? Don't quote me on it. I can't remember, but I know Kevin Prince Boateng went and played World Cup for his African nation, while Jerome Prince Boateng went and played for Germany, and he won the World Cup with Germany. And we have seen, I think, a few more brothers, even a current brother. I think one plays for Spain and one plays for Africa. I don't remember his name right now off the bat, but yes, we have seen that. But the thing about it is, my problem is, the players who have never been called up for the country that they live in, they didn't play for the youths. They didn't play in the youth. They didn't play Youth World Cup. They didn't play an international game for the country they lived in. No, I have a problem with them coming to Jamaica and representing Jamaica. It is good to have them, but listen, if you wasn't good enough to be called up for country that you were living in and you born in, you understand? I don't think you should be as that qualified for the Reggae Boyz team. But that is just my 2 cents because we have seen Paul Hall and a few other Americans, overseas based players, came to Jamaica and they represent Jamaica at the Broad Jamaica to qualify for the 1998 World Cup. The World Cup that we was the road to France. You understand? That brought a lot of joy and celebration in Jamaica that we knew we went up against good teams and we were able to taste the glory in World Cup. And from then, it has been a downhill and a downhill and a downhill. So far, this team digging, I think we're closer to hell. Excuse my language. Not to say Jamaica is a club of our country of evilest people, because Jamaica has more churches in a square feet, so we know about the religious part about it. But football is a religion, or soccer is a religion in Jamaica, and we produce a lot of players. But for some reason, there's a lot of politics. And today, this podcast, I'm about to ruffle some feathers. You understand? But it is my opinion. And everybody, last time I checked, everybody has their own opinion in whatever they like to say or whatever they're looking for. So if you don't like my opinion, get your own. You understand? Because I won't kill you for yours. And that is my opinion on the overseas players. That if it wasn't good enough to play for the country of birth and the country that you lived in, I think the resume should be the same, or the requirement should be the same for the Reggae Boyz. Even though you have players who played in the Premier League and they're good, but they're not a star. You understand? So we want star players. You want players like Raheem Sterling and Trent Alexander, Mr. Arnold, I'm making a mess of his name, but Trent, I'm sorry. But players like those who had Jamaican parents and grandparents, but they elected to play for England. I wouldn't mind a few of those players came to Jamaica and represent the Reggae Boyz, because I think if we had some of those players, even in Spain, we have players who play in the highest league for Spain, who elected to wait and for the call for Spain, but they didn't came to Jamaica. But some of those players who were superstar, I wish they had came to Jamaica and said, all right, then let's play for Jamaica. Because now we are seeing like NBA players are going back to Jamaica and helping Jamaica to qualify for, I think it's the Olympic, or, yeah. So basketball is a thing now in Jamaica, and kudos to those players who could have took their talents elsewhere, but they think, okay, let's build something in Jamaica and build a Jamaica program, because we have good players and good basketballers, just like Chuck and Field and Asafa Powell did it, and Usain Bolt came and revolutionized it. Yeah, so no players are track athletes are staying in Jamaica, elected not to go overseas, took their talents overseas, and now we are seeing multiple athletes are becoming champions in their own rights, and we have athletes to watch. And yeah, so we just need one to sparks and to catch a fire, because as they said, bushfire, or Americans call it brush fire. Just take one spark to ignite and a little bit of wind, and we have a disaster at hand in hand. So that is what we want. You understand? If we could have gotten Raheem Sterling and a few more, then we would be a force to reckon with. Likewise, Mr. Leon Bailey did a segment about Leon Bailey and the things that he used to do and the things that he's doing now and what he needs to do to correct each issue. For real and for real and for real, I prayed a lot that Belgium didn't call Leon Bailey. You understand? Side of me, I wanted him to represent a country, but I wouldn't mind if he represent Belgium. But the bias side was praying that Belgium didn't call him, because if he had that option, he would never be representing the Reggae Boyz. You understand? And with good players, attract good players. So if we had a few more players, I see they're trying to acquire the talents of Mason Greenwood. And I know if we had a better winning record and a few more household name players in the Reggae Boys or for the national team, then we could have gotten the nod from Mason Greenwood to represent Jamaica, because we need a few more players, because the upcoming tournament that we're going to play is not an easy one. So this brings me to my segue of what I'm here to talk about is the coach and the assistant coach. And I think it should be the coach right here, the assistant coach right here, or the assistant coach or the other. So coach, assistant coach, and I think it should have been like assistant coach, coach. And if you don't know who I'm talking about Miguel Coley and Rudolph Speed. Hopefully I pronounced that man name right, because I don't think he would be the one to like this, what I'm about to say. But I am not here to be a friend of Mr. Speed, and I may be biased, but here goes my bias judgment. And I believe that Rudolph Speed should never be, I shouldn't have gotten the nod to be the appointed or intern head coach for the Reggae Boys. And this is why I believe, and I won't let you guys think that I am doing this, because when I do something, I try to bring a little bit of facts into it, so you guys can see that I am not only being biased, but I am bringing a little bit of facts throughout my little ranting on the head coach. So again, you have to share the screen so you guys can see. And we are going to touch on Mr. Speed first, because he is the appointed coach. And let's put him on the screen right here. Okay, we have Mr. Speed on the screen right here, and you can see Rudolph Speed has been appointed for the my intern coach. Zane, intern head coach for the Reggae Boys. Okay, and that happened in December when Steve McLaren stepped down and stepped away after his disappointed run from the Reggae Boys. So let's look a little bit on Mr. Speed's resume and see a little bit of background on him. Don't be afraid. We're going to look on him and to see a little bit about him. Just a little bit of background, and we're going to talk about it. Okay, so where we are here right now. Role, head coach, background, Speed, successfully technical director as the Cavaliers and winning multiple leagues and that. CONCACAF coach, Caribbean Club, Cup. See it there? Tournament, that and that and that. And okay, so it's not a lot of things on his resume as a coach. Okay, and we are talking about experience. And this is not a time for us to play mispick and trials. You understand? We wanted a coach who has better resume, experience on the international scene. You understand? Because we have seen it tried, like Theodore Whitmore was the head coach for quite some time for the Reggae Boys, and we are left without any cups, any qualification for the World Cup or any winning of any tournaments. If I should speak a little on Coach Theodore Whitmore, I won't take anything from Whitmore, because was one of my favorite Jamaican footballer, and I worn the number 11 as well, and he had a skill that many other didn't have. But we know that because you are a skilled player and you're the man in the book of history for Jamaica who's the only player to score in World Cup for Jamaica. Because after you score, we haven't been to the World Cup. So we have seen that you scored the two important goals for Jamaica and goals for Jamaica, and to let us know that Jamaica can perform in the high stage at that time, because we haven't been there back. And we have seen, for your resume as a footballer, a little bit playing overseas. I think you played in Swansea City, and at the time Swansea was I think it was at the Division 3 or 2. Don't get me twisted. Swansea City, a short stints in England, and then you came back to the Jamaica Premier League. Knocking Jamaican Premier League because it's a league anyway, but the experience is not that vast going on the international stage, and we need the international experience. So we tried that with Theodore Whitmore, and the result is the same. No qualification, nothing. And then we had what's his name again? Mr. Schaefer, or what is Winston Schaefer, or whatever his name was, who was a coach after Theodore Whitmore. The result was the same, a little bit of flair, a little bit of that, but didn't qualify and didn't qualify. But at the time, Miguel Coley was the assistant coach for Jamaica at that time. So let's pull up the assistant coach now. Let's pull up Miguel Coley and a little bit of thing about him. So let me type in resume as a coach, as an assistant coach, and see. Because when I try to downplay anyone's talent, But I believe that we have to give respect where respect due. And let me show you why I think that Miguel should have been the head coach. Okay? So let me pull him up, put him back up on screen just to show you guys where I'm coming from and why I think the way I think. Okay, so we are here. See there, I'm typing assistant coach and appointed assistant coach. So there we go. Steve McLaren step down, intern assistant coach, Miguel Coley. Background, former Reggae Boy assistant coach, 2014 to 16. Okay. Winfred Schaefer. Okay. Resume. Let me just show you a little thing. There we have it. Him have a FIFA. There you go. License holder. Okay. Clubs. And you guys can see, because I'm not hiding anything, so take your time and read it. And we can see his resume. And if I go back to let me just go to the head coach and just to show you guys something that I'm not being biased. You understand? Not being biased on coaches, but I believe that we should have experience and understanding where we're coming from. So look on the head coach resume and see where we are coming from, and you'll understand why I said what I said about who should be appointed as the head coach and who should have been appointed to the assistant coach. Based on experience, if you guys look, we not hide anything, we not hide anything. We are showing you guys, and I'm showing you guys, so you guys can see where I'm coming from. And to understand that this man has been a journeyman, not only in Jamaica, but he has traveled to clubs in the Middle East and in Europe. So if you guys looked at his resume and looked at the head coach resume, you guys can realize that the experience is different. So now that I showed you guys, right? I show you guys where I'm coming from and why I think the way I think and why I believe what I believed. Not try to sway anybody's mind, but I am giving you my reason and what I think. You understand? Because what I believe that the Reggae Boys need new and young. Not too young, because to say Miguel Coley is young, I would be lying, because he's not like he's in his 20s or, excuse me, or in his 30s. I think he's in his early 40s, if I'm not lying. Now, I want to tell you Miguel, but I played against him in the Costa Cup, so so I don't think he's that young. But anyway, he's a young coach, been around a few coaches overseas, so he has acquired and accumulated a lot of experience. You understand? And them say experience speaks wisdom. So based on Mr. Ralph, I think it's Rudolph. I call his man name wrong, and then I say, yo, me bias to Mr. Speed resume. Yeah, Rudolph Speed. Because me say, I know him shouldn't be the Reggae Boy coach. You hear that I am being biased and I call all the man name wrong. But yeah, based on his resume, he has been a good coach in Jamaica. You understand? A good local-based coach. And the JPL, that is Jamaica Premier League, and I think he coached a little bit of high school, and he has just recently played in the Caribbean Cup Championship, which is a big deal for Jamaica, you understand? But his experience for me is not to bring Jamaica to next level, even though he's an intern head coach. And knowing Jamaica, they will say he's an intern, and then basically we hear say him the head coach. Because remember when Theodore Whitmore got the appointment as the intern head coach, then after that they assigned him as the head coach for the Reggae Boyz. Not knocking Theodore Whitmore, but we need better. We could do better. And this is about Reggae Boyz getting to World Cup. You understand? We want to see them at the high stage. And it's been years when Mr. Simoes was in Jamaica. We wanted to start a professional program. You understand? So the younger youths learn discipline and how to be professionals. And we have seen the young Reggae Boyz, I think the youth team just qualified for the Youth World Cup for a long time we haven't qualified for the Youth World Cup. And if I should say Rudolph Speed should be appointed as the head coach for the Reggae Boyz, I think we have better coaches in Jamaica. Coach has been proven for many different leagues and won Premier Leagues and stuff, and I've seen them. And they have, if you check their resume is good and even better as Speed's resume. And I think it is good to have him to give a local player or a local coach the job or the nod to be an intern coach. But for me, if you're going to do so, give a young mind who is eager and who has been around the block. So he hasn't only been a coach. Excuse me. He has only been a coach in Jamaica, but he has proven in Jamaica and went overseas as well. And you won't get a job overseas if you are not doing something good. You understand? And even in his last stints of being a coach, he was the caretaker of a club. In other words, he was the head coach for a little period, just like how they say they appointed head coach, current head coach. That would be in like the same thing as what Miguel did overseas. Being a coach who won in the youth program, and he was a scout. And as a scout, you're supposed, when you are a scout, that means you have the ability to identify talent. Okay? And Miguel, I believe that he should have gotten that nod based on his resume, because he's a FIFA recognized coach. Not only a Jamaican coach, but a FIFA. You have the qualification and the resume to stand and prove. But knowing Jamaica, the politics is always, like I told you, I was going to ruffle some feathers, So I'm going to ruffle some feathers. And if I'm not wrong, I think Mr. Speed is a part of a close friend of the JFF. So support JFF. JFF is in discussion with Miguel Coley. That. If I'm not wrong, a friend thing. You understand? A friend thing. Because you win in Premier League. He's not the only coach who won Premier League. He's not the only coach who has his club played in the Club World Cup, the Caribbean Club World Cup or Cup Tournament or something. He's not the only player. The only coach to do so. So if you're going to appoint Mr. Speed for the head coach in Jamaica, coming up this, it's March? I think March. Yes, March. At the little tournament, the playoff tournament where we are going to go up against. Let me see. Give me a second. Let me type this in. Hold on. Where's my phone? Let me use the tablet. Because if I'm not wrong, let me look up and tell you guys for the upcoming tournament who we're going to play against for the qualify for World Cup. So let me type this in. Give me a second. And we'll see who they are going to play against. Okay, so the next game is against New Caledonia, and the day of the match, let me see, match date. Okay, so the match is going to be the 26th of March. Okay, so within a month's time, we have a game against New Caledonia, and I have to go look up that country and see where they're at and how they played. But it's a serious tournament, and we had it too easy and we failed. And I cannot put this blame on the coach alone, because players played the game. And if we as players realize that the coach do the right, Last time I checked, most of the players for the Reggae Boyz are being played to pay. I mix it up. You understand? Each of these players plays for a club. It's either they played locally or they played overseas. I think a few players played MLS, and you have players who played in the Premier League, and yeah, nobody's a farmer, nobody's a police, nobody's a doctor, nobody's a teacher. Everybody is a professional football slash soccer player. So we cannot put this blame only and slowly on the coach, because the coach, the any level, I believe, if you are a team player or a teammate of the Reggae Boyz, the bench is just as good as a starter, because you should pick the top of the top, are the best of the best players in the country, outside the country, to present the country. So it cannot only be on the court. So when everybody's going to say Steve McLaren mess up the side and him pick a bad side and him do something wrong, come on, no, he's not the one who's playing. And as a Jamaican and a Jamaican player, you know what I believe? I believe if I'm on the pitch, right, and all of us are on the pitch and we see say, this thing is going south faster than even ever, we want it more. So here what? We're not going to do what the coach want right now. Let's play and win these games. And I saw games that we sat back and observed pressure. You understand? When we could have won games. There's a lot of games if you go back over and watch, a whole heap of games we drop the ball in there, and we miss goal and we do all sort of foolishness. You understand? When the zone was easy, cause at work, when I'm a Spanish bridging said to me, say, yo, Jamaica have to make it to the World Cup, bro. Right? And I say, why you say that? And I say, think about it. The clubs that, the country that would have given Jamaica problems, they are automatically qualifiers. So Jamaica shouldn't have any problem making it to the World Cup. And I said to him, you're right. Based on what I see, we supposed to just win our zone, win this, and just settle in and qualify for World Cup with ease. But my mindset is like of the same mindset of the players. Everybody take a thing too simple and take it too light. So we drop the ball and play foolishness and make some little country forgive me for saying that, but I'm just stating the fact. Making some little country where we shouldn't have struggled with it, we shouldn't beat us, we shouldn't even, I'm not saying they shouldn't score a goal but defeat shouldn't have never be on our doorstep from those countries. We drop the ball and play bare foolishness and lose games, and then we want to turn on and say the coach, no, come on now, the players have to take some of the blame, because at the end of the day, if the coach didn't take out 11 high schoolers, and didn't take up 11 farmers, or 11 teachers, or 11 track and field athletes who have never played the game of football or slash soccer, and say, yo, go and go win it for Jamaica. Professional players who have been playing and getting paid to play. You understand? I play upon people, TV, day in, night out, day in, day out. And you come together and you want to tell me, say, you can't win a game? That don't make no sense. You understand? And no, to make matters worse, we pick a coach who inexperienced to this international scene. Fronting is spell fronting. I care zero about your age and how much JPL you win, or how much Manning Cup or DeCosta Cup or whatever local cup you win. We don't care about that. What is your experience on the international scene? You understand? Have you ever traveled outside of Jamaica and take your coaching talents elsewhere? Have you ever been understudied to coaches overseas, go sit inside a locker room to get a game plan outside of Jamaica, being a coach to people who you don't speak the same language. The dialect is so different, and you have to have a translator just for you to understand what they're saying. No. So, and we have young coach, and this is one of the problem with Jamaica and JFF too, because, so hell-bent and on a friend, unafraid to give a young youth and a young talent the opportunity to say, yo, go and go take it over. See what you can do. You understand? Show your talent and show your class. We elect our friend to be the intern head coach, but we have to be on the way side and just keep supporting Jamaica and hope the players can come through and win them few games here and put our name back into the record book of qualifying to the World Cup. And then again, qualifying to the World Cup is another thing, is going to the World Cup and drop into a zone. Drop into a zone and win a game. You understand? Win a game or two, or even draw two game and lose one and win one, and come out of the game or out of the round with even a point or two. You understand? But we choose to appoint a coach where his resume is nothing close to the assistant coach resume, and that is something that keeps happening in Jamaica. We appoint coaches, and we have some coach who a coach from Jesus was a boy and still coaching. And what is it you're doing in this thing as a long, bro? If you never if you were never seen as an head coach for Jamaica, but then why no? Why no? When you appoint an assistant coach who could have been and could have easily been appointed or the intern head coach for Jamaica, just to show, okay, this is what I've learned over the years. Am I traveling and when me go do this? Let me bring it back to Jamaica and try to translate what I've learned and put it into play, like build something. No, we not do that. The man being an assistant coach, and maybe we look at it like, okay, you're the assistant to Winston Seafer, and then you go back to assistant coach him in Europe, and then you go to Iraq, and you go to Saudi, and you go this, and you go this, and you go this, but you never get the chance to be a head coach. Look at it this way. You were as assistant coach for quite some time. You just need that person to believe in you and say, okay then, no assistant coach anymore. We're going to give you the job as a head coach to show you, or to show us what you have learned over the years. Make us see how big your resume is. You understand what you can bring to the table. Brother, Jamaica tried so many coaches. We are trying to rekindle what Rene Simoes did years ago. You understand? We try a few overseas based coach, and it's the same thing. It's the same song. It's the same song. Same song sing on a different rhythm and a different tune. But it's the same music. And we need something, we need a spark. We need somebody who traveled, who can come with us with something different. Why we have to do the same thing over and over? Why we have to keep on believing that, okay, this man is the man for the job because and because him did know this and him did know that, and no, let's just do this thing the right way. You understand? Give the coach, give the head coach to somebody who can prove his point. Give him a chance. That's all we need in a brother. A lot of times, all these young coaches need is just the opportunity, somebody to believe in us, just a little belief, and say, yo, me believe so you can do this, That's all we need. And I think that's all Coach Miguel Coley need. Just a little nod. We say, yo, Miguel, you there, so I do this long time, bro, and you've been our assistant coach, we don't have nothing to lose. So here, take the opportunity and run with it and make us see where your carry it go. You never know. This man can be the man to ignite the fire that Jamaica needed so badly. You understand? Sometimes you have to be that person if you say, yo, bro, I know what you're going through. I know what you see. I can see through your lens. Just let me show you that I'm seeing the same thing, and then we can work together and make magic on the field. You understand? Give the coach a chance. We touch a player and say, yo, I know what you say, bro. I've seen that and I understand that. But look at it from my lens and make we work together to build something special. But we tend to be the friend thing, brother. We tend to give our friend the nod. And because our friend, we say, all right, then we could give him the chance. And then because we don't want to look bad. Yo, say Miguel did work with a few coach. So here, we give him a chance now for step in and do that. You see me? Nah, man. Because Miguel Coley and say, coach, we have an opportunity for you. It's you against you, and you to show us that we didn't make a mistake. And we have seen, and we watch you and know, say, yo, you have been the coach who have traveled, and you went out of your country, come out of your comfort zone, go into the land of unknown. Just like Oli and Bailey father say, better out there for me youth, and Jamaica is not it. And they went out hungry for nights, sleepless night, don't know where they're going to sleep the next night. And then fight and fight and fight. Zane and Lee and Bailey take off. Club see him and start identify him. The man have to go into a country and go learn a different language. Open him knowledge, open him thing. Boom. You play for your local club in a Europe. What's the first club? He played for the club in Belgium. From Belgium he went to Bundesliga. From Belgium to Germany. Germany to England. England to Spain. To Italy. Italy back to England. And the thing a flourish. Leon Bailey is a billionaire in Jamaica, a millionaire elsewhere, and him still have more to come. Him just have to find himself and find back that farm that he had. And it's nothing hard. I just a man need to know, say, yo, you know, me I get some bad advice. And sometimes me get some bad advice, but here what? Me take a page out of Renal, out of CR7 book, out of LeBron James book. Why them man are so old and I play at the highest level, high intensity for so long has to be something with them diet, them meal plan, and them gym work. So it's about that. But back to what I'm saying is Jamaica on a need for free up the thing. You understand? We give Miguel a chance. We can't do no worse, you know, bro. But why we are gonna do different thing with the boy that we go play domino with on a Friday evening and we show to domino and play to 6 love and sitting and somebody we know and we party from long time, so we're gonna give him a chance. No, it's not about that. It's about we are elevate the program. Give somebody a chance, a young talent who know and have been out there, been out of them country, have seen different scenery, have been around different coach and see how the international training program is, or the overseas training program, or the locker room setup. You understand? You need that. We need that at more time. That's why when Rene Simons come and Rene Simons say, okay, we're going to do this and we're going to do that and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. A lot of people that burn a fire for Rene Simons, but because they didn't have the vision. Zine, and them burn the fire for Rene Simons and them talk while Walter Boy that do and know Walter Boy there with Simons that and this and that and this and that. But we have seen what he did to Onandelo. You understand? You can play this, so come play right here. So you, okay, play up here, so do this, do that, do that. The man had a vision and experience. And because of that, we qualified for the World Cup. But Mr. Simons had too much demand. And we give up on that. See? We give up on the whole of demand when him come with. And I say, yo, no, sir, this man have too much demand and this man do this and this man do that and way. And we had to fire Simons because him now stick to the plan. Boom, we employ coach now stick to the plan because at the end of the day, no coach is going to come to Jamaica and do what Jamaica wants him to do. It's about what the coach has, what the coach is going to do, and are you going to give the coach the runway and say take it off? Or are you going to stand in the runway and you can't lift off? You can't be a fronting, bro. Cannot be a fronting. If we want to take Jamaica to the next level, it can't be a fronting. Just like from the youth program, we have to have a good youth program. And we are seeing young players a step out, playing for, you have Whisper, was at Chelsea, right? Now is at, I think is at Leicester City, right? Him just need to find himself and start to assert himself in the ball game, because I watch him in a few games, him not assertive as he should be because him still a play timid like him. I say, yo, maybe me no in that squad are, bro, you have to assert yourself. Step out, show out, put yourself out there. Because nobody, and this is the last thing I'm going to say before I close out. To all of the young youths out there, athletes, track athletes, soccer athletes, football athletes, cricket athletes, whatever athletics you're in, take this and run with it. Humble calf, don't suck the most milk. A humble calf is a dead calf. You understand? Because by the time him forget, him feeding the mother gone. Let me say it again. Humble calf is a dead calf. You understand? And in Jamaica, they grow us up on this saying that hungry calf suck the most milk. You understand? So what happened to the craven calf? Or the calf will assert himself? Because if you watch Discovery and the animal planets, and you watch what happens, even in, I think is the eagle or some birds, what they do, the first one who hatch, push out the egg for the unhatched chick. Remember, listen what I'm saying now. The first bird who hatch and come out of the egg, push the unbroken egg over because him the plan for share. And if the next one come out, he might try kill him. Because if you're weak or you're deemed weak, he is a waste. So take this with a grain of salt. Humble calf is a dead calf. So in this world, working world, or whatever world you're living in, if you don't assert yourself, you'll be left behind. Pray this. If you don't assert yourself, you'll be left behind. Nobody looks out for the weak. Yeah, you have a few people we look out for the weak, but nobody looks out for the weak who have health and strength and can do something. You're deemed as a lazy person. You get to me? I say you're deemed as a lazy person. Don't know who needs to hear this, but for the young players who aspire to be great, assert yourself, hard work, discipline. Remember, through everything, God first. You understand? Hard work, discipline, put the head down, and remember, heights by great man. You understand? The greatest of the greatest, I always tell you. The training that nobody's around, that is the one that counts the most. So even for the Reggae Boyz, you understand? Don't wait for training session for your train. Better your craft even when you're there by yourself. You understand? Just like how me I try my podcast, me I talk to the camera. I'm trying to better my craft and assert myself at the past podcast game. There's a lot of athletes out there, a lot of people out there doing this thing. So, I show about and don't mind. You understand? There's a little bit of motivation and correction from your boy Hadjilexx. Your host with the most. No need to brag nor boast. You could have been somewhere else, but you're here with me, sharing. You understand? So like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And hit that notification bell that when I put out new videos and new content, you're the first to get that notification. It's your boy Hadjilexx, and this is Oneness Sports Talk. Stay tuned. Remember, there's a lot more to come, and there's a lot in a whole heap of things and a bag of tricks coming up. You understand? I haven't touched track and feelers yet. Boys and girls champs is coming up. You understand? Likewise, intercal. So watch out for a few sports thing and some interviews to come with some athletes and even some coach and recruiters. So stay tuned, like, share, and subscribe. It's your boy Hadjilexx. Thank you for watching. What is under my nose? I'm out. Yo!